this gathering of our entire community for this commemoration of the 70th anniversary of Kristallnacht. Before I go on, let me just note that those who have designated seating, either up on the bima or in the designated section for clergy and elected officials, we have a section for you near the front of the seating. Many of you may know that our congregation's history is directly linked to the Nazis' reign of terror that took place on November 9th and 10th, 1938. Many of the founding members of this congregation witnessed the horrors of those days. They experienced firsthand the degrading persecutions of Jews that began with the rise of Hitler in 1933. They sensed that Kristallnacht was a turning point, and they set out to find a new beginning. They came to the shores of America and eventually to Cleveland, where they established the Gates of Hope congregation, the English translation of Shaarey Tikvah in Hebrew, the name that our congregation uses today. Our congregation's name expresses the mission that our founders sought to carry on throughout the ages, and that is to remember the past, to work to ensure that the evil of the Nazis is never repeated, and finally to inspire future generations with the message of Tikvah, hope, that we can make the world a better place. Within the Bible, the number 70 carries great significance. The psalmist describes 70 as signifying the fullness of years. On this day, that statement is ironic. It has been 70 years since the night of terror that was a stepping stone in the annihilation of 6 million of our people. At the same time, we are here to recall that day, and we have individuals in our midst today who bore witness to the horrors on this day 70 years ago. We are grateful for their presence that inspires us to fulfill the Jewish mitzvah or commandment of Zachor, the commandment to remember. Through our act of remembering, we pledge not to let history repeat itself. Our collective participation in remembering the past brings, in fact, a sense of fullness to the 70 years that have passed, because we pledge as a community to pass on these memories to future generations. I'd like to note that this community event is the result of many months of planning. I would like to thank Louise Freilich and Marcy Rosenthal, the co-chairs of this event, and their committee of many distinguished individuals from all segments of our greater community. This event is the result of their many months of dedication and hard work. I would also like to acknowledge the Jewish Community Federation of Cleveland's sponsorship of this event and the many other community sponsors. As you entered, you heard high school students from our community reading from the list of names of cities and towns where synagogues were destroyed, burned, vandalized, or looted on Kristallnacht. The students, and you saw they were up here for quite some time, they were not even able to get through the entire list of some 1,258 places in the half hour during which they were reading. As we gather for this commemoration, I would like to acknowledge the distinguished local, state, federal elected officials who are with us today, and I'd like to ask them to stand and be acknowledged. I'll elected officials. Thank you. We have received certificates of recognition from Congressman Stephen LaTourette, Congressman Dennis Kucinich, Senator Sherrod Brown, Senator George Voinovich, Congressman Tim Ryan, Congressman Ron Klein of Florida, who is a graduate of Cleveland Heights High School, and we have received proclamations from Mayor Merle Gordon of Beechwood, Shaker Heights Mayor Earl Lycan, Cleveland Mayor Frank Jackson, Lyndhurst Mayor Joseph M. Cicero, Jr., University Heights Mayor Beryl Rothschild, Cleveland Heights Mayor Edward Kelly, Mayfield Heights Mayor Gregory Costabile, South Euclid Mayor Georgine Wello, Moreland Hills Mayor Susan Renda, Pepper Pike Mayor Bruce Akers, Orange Village Mayor Kathy Ordang Mulcahy, Bentleyville Mayor Leonard Spramulli, Solon Mayor Kevin Patton, Cuyahoga County Commissioners Jimmy DeMora, Timothy Hagan, and Peter Lawson Jones. We have also received a letter from the Simon Wiesenthal Center noting that, quote, hope lives when people remember. All of these proclamations may be viewed in the entrance area to the sanctuary, right in the rear of the sanctuary. I am honored by the presence of many of my rabbinic colleagues and cantorial colleagues from the Jewish community, as well as many clergy representing the different Christian communities from all around our area. And I'd like to single them out on the list that I have as of this morning. So my deepest regrets if I fail to mention anyone. Father Joseph Holinsky of the Catholic Diocese of Cleveland, Reverend Kenneth Chalker of the First United Methodist Church, Reverend Louise Westfall of Fairmount Presbyterian Church, Reverend Marvin McMickle of Antioch Baptist Church, Reverend Dr. John Fancher of Rocky River Presbyterian Church, Reverend Liza Hendricks, Presbyterian of the Western Reserve, Reverend Tracy Lind of Trinity Cathedral, Kenneth Kovach, International Community Council, Kenneth Ledford of Case Western Reserve University and Fairmount Presbyterian. We thank all of our distinguished guests for being here, and I would like to close with a prayer that this 70th anniversary of Kristallnacht will remind us that we have not finished our duty of zachor, of remembering, merely by our reaching this day. May the true fullness of our years be achieved by our pledging today to ensure that these memories are transferred to future generations. And let us say, Amen.